Hello, Falcon fans. Welcome to another edition of BG Falcon Hockey Weekly. Ryan Vallon here with head coach Chris Bergeron. Coach, let's talk about the weekend that was at Bemidji State, the win and the double overtime win. So you go out there on Friday, and it looked like most of the goals that were scored were in the first couple of minutes of each period.
Yeah, we obviously got off to a good start scoring in the first minute of the first game. This series had our attention for sure. I mean, looking back at the second half of the year, and I know our play's been up and down, but as far as our opponents go, Bemidji State was one that I thought came in here and took it to us pretty good. So we needed to play better, knowing that this was a really good team and they'd been playing well at home and so on and so on. So we got off to a good start. I thought we defended at more of our level over the course of the whole weekend, but Friday night in particular, I thought we defended at a pretty good level. We killed penalties. We scored enough to win, for sure, and all in all, I think we had the power play goal, and then we shut them down on this, so we won the special teams game. So it was a good effort for us. I mean, it wasn't perfect by any means, but from a road game perspective, I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, and that game saw Max Johnson score 26 seconds in, and as well as Will Cullen extending his goal scoring streak at that time.
Yeah, I mean that power play unit that Will plays on has been good. It's been getting chances and getting results, and Will's been the recipient of some pretty good bounces and rebounds and so on. But it's nice to see him on the score sheet. We need him there.
Moving on to the next night, and once again your team came out hot, and not so much in the first period, but then into the second period, Johnny Schilling scores a goal, same thing with Max Johnson, so some usual suspects there with Johnson. Yeah. But then you guys kind of, maybe it seemed like Bemidji started to come back a little bit. You guys were on a little bit of your heels. They scored in the opening minute of the third period, and we're tied at 2. Yeah,
the way I look at that game is we were expecting a push. You know, you lose at home as on a Friday night, you're gonna push back, and we were expecting that as the visitor. I thought we weathered it fine, had a really good second period, as you say, with the exception of, you know, we give up that 4-on-4 goal. It was a fortunate bounce on their part, off Lucas Craig's foot, right back to their guy. Their guy made a great play, and it was a great finish. And then, as you say, they scored the first minute of the third period on an icing call that I think could have been avoided on our part. It was bad play on our part. We lost the face-off, and it ends up in our net. One of the areas on Saturday that was concerning was our face-offs. I mean, we had it at 35%, and that's not even close to good enough. And really, ultimately, both goals were face-off goals. 2-0 lead. Even though it's on the road, you expect to be able to. We expect to be able to finish those games off. Full credit to Bemidji State. But I thought our guys hung in there. After it was tied 2-2, I don't think we had a crazy lull. I think we were pushing, and in overtime I thought we took the game to them. Weren't able to score till the 3-on-3.
Yeah, and that game saw 2 penalty shots, one on each side, which is something you rarely see in college hockey. So you guys get 5 out of 6 points from Bemidji. Now you guys are in second place in the WCHA with a chance to maybe bolster second place this weekend against Huntsville.
Yeah, the going into last weekend, obviously the idea was to stay in second somehow, some way, even if that was being tied. And we do better than that. We come out second place on our own, which now we don't have to worry about tiebreakers. We control our own destiny where second's concerned. Obviously, first place is not in the conversation. That's where we want to be. I mean, the last 2 weekends going in, we were tied for second with teams that had the tiebreaker on us because of number of league wins. Now that's not the case. So the opportunity is ours. What we do with that opportunity is going to 100% be our responsibility, and that's been the focus as we prepare here for Friday night.
And the last little note on this one is senior night on Saturday night, and one of your mottos is leave Bowling Green better than where you found it.
Yeah, I mean, these 7 guys have absolutely left it better than they found it. And when I look at each one of them individually, there's a different story behind it. I think Connor McDonald comes to mind because, you know, Connor was somebody we talked to our first year here. I mean, that's going back 9 years. When you think about a recruiting process from start to walk away as a senior with a degree, I mean, that's what you're talking about. It's a long time, and that's a long time to know somebody and know his family. And you can go down the list. I don't want to pick on one guy, but everybody has a story, and it's always bittersweet, right? You're celebrating their 7 years, but you also have to say goodbye to them. And these, like I say, like we started, these 7 guys are definitely leaving this place better than they found it.
Yeah, first game against Huntsville is at 8:07 p.m. Eastern. That's also George McPhee bobblehead night as well, and then 7:07 p.m. Eastern the following night on Saturday for senior night. Of course, you can catch both of those games on the Falcon Radio Network and Flow Hockey TV. For head coach Chris Bergeron, I'm Ryan Vallon, and we'll talk to you next week.